What's up, my dudes? So, like me, you're looking to get to level 60 in a more fast and efficient way. If there's anything I can do for you in this video, it is that. But first, to put it into perspective, let's check out what the world record is. Maybe it'll ease our minds a little bit. Oh God, help us all. Yeah, so guys, this takes a while. Leveling in vanilla WoW takes a long ass time. So if I can do anything for you guys in this video, it would be to help you just even a little bit throughout the process, because it can be pretty grueling at times. In this video, I'm going to be talking about add-ons and the individual versus group-based playstyle, all assuming that this is your first character on the respective server that you've decided to play on. Now, to start, for add-ons, the first add-on that I recommend you guys get is VanillaGuide. This add-on is mostly really good at making sure that you're not wasting time in your leveling experience. So, for example, it will tell you when it's best to train for your abilities, grab flight paths, collect quest materials ahead of time before you even accept those quests. It tells you when to train weapon skills. Overall, this add-on is really effective. It's going to help you out a lot for the leveling experience, so I really recommend that you utilize it. VanillaGuide is also great about telling you the different kinds of coordinates that you'll need to know, as far as pinpointing where a certain NPC is, for example, or where you need to kill mobs. If you don't want to use an add-on to help you along the way for questing, but you still want to use a guide, then I would recommend going to Joana's leveling guide. You can just Google it and it'll be right there. It was made by this guy who calls himself Furious Paul. This is the same guy that holds the world record for the fastest time to level 60. He even has an unedited speed run to level 60 from level 1 on YouTube. So I'll link in the description that series so you can check it out if you really want to. Alright, next on the list we have Questie. This add-on teamed with VanillaGuide is really good, because Questie is really good about specifying exactly where you need to go as far as the different kinds of quests that you accept are concerned. So instead of just in VanillaGuide where it gives you coordinates as to where to go, Questie is there to legitimately show you. If you were to look on the map, it could show you the different kinds of locations to kill mobs, discover areas, turn in, accept quests, all those different kinds of things. And it has a series of different icons on the map that will help to indicate what exactly you need to do for that quest. So it's really helpful. And next we have Cartographer, which is a really good map add-on. And since you don't have coordinates mapped into the in-game UI, this really helps, especially teamed with VanillaGuide. With Questie, you also have a toggle Questie button on the map, which if you turn off and on, you can help mitigate any bugs that may have accumulated from Questie. So that will really help you out. Alright, lastly we have LazyPig. This add-on is really good about automatically vendoring gray items from your bags and repairing your gear, all just by holding the shift key. And that's really nice in that sense, because if you didn't want to automatically vendor those things, given whatever you had in your bags, you know, you have the option to. It doesn't just automatically vendor those things the second you open up like a merchant's window. Okay, so that's it for the add-ons that will really help you. As far as your individual playstyle, let's start with class choice. Now, I recommend to go with any class that you want to go with, because, you know, that's really most of what matters in this game. But if you want to choose a class that will get you to 60 as fast as possible, I would recommend to go with the Warlock or the Hunter, because they have pets and they basically have very minimal downtime based on that alone. Mages are really good about leveling. Priests are really good if you spec properly into Spirit Tap and Wand specialization along the way. And then I believe at level 40 as a priest, you respec into Shadow, get Shadow Form, go from there, and it's a really effective way to level. Now, for speed's sake, I would say the best profession to run with, secondary profession that is first aid, because it's a quick way to heal yourself and others, even if you're not a healer, of course. Saves some time in that sense. So now another thing, whenever you get the chance, make sure you stock up on food and water. I'm sure we've all been in that situation where we have neither of each and it's kind of just a real bummer. Of course, if you're like a warrior, for example, you'll have rage, so you won't need drinks, but just keep it in mind, whether it's food or water, make sure to have either that you need. Another thing to consider is that res sickness does not apply before level 10. This is something that VanillaGuide takes into account pretty well, so it'll tell you when it's best to die in a certain area, because you'll release your spirit in a graveyard that's closer to where you'll turn in quests, and so you'll save a lot of time in that regard. And it's sort of like a free hearth, even when you've already used your hearth, of course. Now, you may lose some armor value along the way, but the repair costs are negligible before level 10, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would also say to use keybindings. It may be a lot to manage at first, but it will definitely make gameplay more efficient in the long run once you've adjusted. Another important one, guys, is rested XP, because it offers double experience gain from killing mobs, and the max amount you can have at one time time is 1.5 levels worth of rested XP, which is insane. And it's acquired after 10 days of basically not playing and just chilling inside of an inn. So whenever you log off, I would really recommend to maybe hearth back to your respective inn and just then log out, because that rested XP is going to mean the world. And just to put it into perspective, the VanillaWoW wiki, which I'll post below, the link to it, says that you'll gain 5% rested XP for every 8 hours of being offline and inside of an inn. Next, we have major city cloth quests. These really help on both the Horde and Alliance. I believe eventually they turn into dailies that don't really give you any XP or any significant amount anyways, but initially I would recommend to save up your cloth, specifically I think wool and beyond, because turning in those cloths to your respective cloth quartermasters within your faction's major city is really going to make the difference. It's really going to help you boost just a little bit more whenever, of course, you are inside of a major city, so it'll be kind of efficient in that sense. I'd also say to get a bank alt and level them to level 5, because you can actually get enchanting and disenchant any item from level 5 in VanillaWoW. Also, of course, if your main character is running out of bag space, you can mail over some items that you might find to be useful. Most importantly, I think for auctioning off any items, I would definitely want to have a bank alt for that, so you wouldn't have to make the trip all the way to your closest major city just to do that. Now, as far as PvP is concerned, I would say to wait until level 51 to do anything on that basis. And why, you may ask? Because in Alterac Valley, which you are able to start at level 51, they offer quests that can accumulate a total of 33,000 XP each, once turned in twice, which is to say the first time you turn in a certain quest in Alterac Valley, it gives you 30,000 XP. The second time you turn it in, it gives you 3,000. 33,000 in total. And these quests specifically are ones where you simply just have to loot the other faction's corpses. Like, for example, if you're on the Alliance and you loot a Tauren, once they drop a Tauren hoof, you can turn that in at your main base for the quest called Gnomeregan Bounty. And for the Horde, for example, you'll have the Night Elf head for the quest Favor Amongst the Darkspear. And I love this tip because I'll take any reason to go in Alterac Valley. And I actually got this information, just to be fair, from SoupaSoka. He's an awesome VanillaWoW YouTuber, so I really recommend you check him out. I'm going to put the link to the video on this information below. Another piece of information that I got from another YouTuber was that grinding between quests actually yields a higher XP output than if done otherwise. And this was from the YouTuber World of Will. I'm going to put a link to the video where he covers this pretty comprehensively down in the description. So make sure you guys give those YouTubers some love, as they deserve it. Also, guys, if you can help it at all, try to avoid world PvP. If you see a hostile player, I would recommend to just like stay back, see what they do. If they do nothing, then just go on and keep questing for speed's sake. That said, there is no way to avoid it in the end, especially on a populated server. So you're definitely going to be dealing with world PvP, whether you like it or not, in neutral zones like Tanaris or something. Anyways, again, if you're focusing on just getting to 60 with nothing else in mind, then I would say to try to avoid world PvP, or I guess I could say just try to not be the one who starts it. Defending yourself is something that you should do, but other than that, try to stay clear. This is a little quick thing. Make sure to auto loot, as it speeds up the process a little bit. All you have to do is shift right click a mob and it will collect all the items from that mob. I think it'll make a difference in the long run. As far as the group-based playstyle, I would recommend for you guys to join the Looking for Group channel to help you find groups for instances that you're able to run at your level range. I think it is important to keep in mind, though, that grouping lowers XP gain, but me personally, I still think it's necessary. Not only is it important for quests that are a little harder to complete, like wanted quests, for example, Hogger, but it's also good for just making friends. I mean, you know, this is an MMO. But that said, guys, if you really want to solely just get to 60 as fast as possible, then try to avoid groups for the most part. Okay, lastly, I would say that instances with lots of quests is really going to be effective for you. Instances are also really good about upgrading your gear, so it'll help you throughout the questing experience for the next few levels to come at least. This is also another great way to make friends, and I love utilizing instances, especially when my only other option is to be questing in a gank-heavy location. Stranglethornville. Alright, so that's basically it, guys. I would say that if you really want to prepare, you can practice building up your class's leveling talent tree online. There are resources for that. I'll put a link below. And you can research things like stat priorities for leveling gear and the different kinds of pieces that you'll need from dungeons that you intend to run, so you're ready with that kind of knowledge ahead of time. Overall, I really hope this helped you guys out. If you want to see more of this kind of content, then subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified more often on my videos. If there was anything I missed, which I'm sure there was, please comment below. Hope this helped someone out. Alright, I'll see you soon.